Hi and welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this simple fillable or digital form in Word, explaining how you can use graphics, logos, drop-down menus and checkboxes. So let's open a new document. So the first thing we're going to do is go to the top of the document where we're going to insert the title and logo section. So I'm going to go to Insert, Shapes, Square, click and draw out a rectangle that goes across the top of the document. Then we're just going to briefly change the colour. You can notice there's a slightly darker borderline around the outside of this shape. So if you select it, make sure you're on shape format, come over to the outline. I'm going to take off the outline, but you can choose the colour if you want to. And from the shape fill, I'm just going to select this dark blue colour here. Then I'm going to go to Insert, Text Box, click on the drop down and select Draw Text Box. And then just down here, I'm going to click and draw a text box. Then I'm going to insert my text. And if I deselect, you can see that I've got a white background and a black borderline. So I'm just going to remove both of those by selecting it. Again, shape format, outline, no outline, shape fill, no fill. Going to move that up here. And then without clicking inside so that your cursor is not inside this rectangle, go to the Home tab. Then I'm going to increase the size of my text using this icon here. I'm going to go to this icon, which is the font color, change it to white. Then I'm just going to increase it again, reduce the size of the box, and then move this to exactly where I want it on the page. Then I'm going to go to Insert. Now I'm going to insert an icon. This is where you can insert your own logo. If you want to do that, go to Insert, Picture, click on the drop down and select Picture from File. Then you select your image and click Insert. But I'm just going to go to Icons. I'm just going to pick this icon here and click Insert. Now, just like an image, sometimes it will go behind another graphic or a shape. If it does that, just make sure it's selected. Go up to Graphics Format, go to Wrap Text and select In Front of Text. So for this one, I'm just going to go to Graphics Fill and select white. I'm just going to move it over here. And then I can make this as big or as small as I want to. Then I'm going to go to Insert, Shapes, click on the drop down, select a line. Then I'm just going to hold down the Shift key, because then I will get a perfect horizontal line. And then I'm going to go up to Outline, which is where you change the color of lines, and go to white. Then I can use my arrow key to move it up, or I can use my mouse. Now importantly, if you can line it up with the edge of this first letter, and you can spill over the logo if you want to, or you can line it up with the logo, that's up to you, and deselect. It will be a little bit more cohesive and make more sense. Then you can go ahead, just move things around a bit if they just don't quite fit with your eye. I'm just going to move this up slightly. Now, if I click somewhere else in the document, you can see that my cursor is here in the middle. If I press the return key, everything I've just made is going to go down the page. So I'm just going to group all of this together, select the logo, hold down your Command or Control key, and then click on all the other things in your document or your title page. Make sure it's all selected, go to Shape Format, go to Group, and select Group. So now this is all one group. Then when we click down here, you can see the cursor's flashing here. Just press the return key a number of times and then you can just move that group back up. There we go. And now when we click, our cursor's at the bottom here. We can just move it over to the left. This is in the Home tab. And now we can go to Insert, Table, click on the drop down, and then I'm going to go to Insert Table. I'm going to have 5 columns and 19 rows. press OK. Then I'm just going to select the table, go to table layout, and here I'm just going to select 0.8 and press enter. And then over here, I'm just going to select align to center left for the text. Perfect. So now we've just got to go through this table, selecting which elements of it we want in terms of the cells and the text, but we're also going to change the border lines. Some of them we want to take out and some of them we want to put in. So I'm going to select my table, go to table design, and then over here, importantly, we've got the border section. If I click on the drop down, you can see, let me just pull this in, you can see we've got all these options here, bottom border, top, etc, etc. What we can do is select no borders to take all of the borders out, but if we click on the drop down, we can go down here to select view grid lines. So this is now a guide, and these aren't the border lines in your document. So that just gives you a guide of where all the cells are, and then we'll come to put the border lines in for those ones which we want. So the first one is the title. So I'm just going to select the entire row, go to table layout, and I'm going to merge all of these cells together. So you can now see that's all one cell. Just put in my text. Then you can highlight this text, go to the Home tab, and obviously you can customize it here with all of your fonts, your font sizes, and also you can change this to sentence case, uppercase, or you can capitalize each word. Completely up to you. Next, I'm going to select these two rows, table layout, merge cells. I'm going to do that for the next 4 rows, so I'll speed up the video. Then I'm going to do it for these as well. Then I'm just going to insert my text. I'm just going to make these a little bit bigger. And then I'm going to insert my text here and speed up the video. Once you've inserted all your text, I'm just going to select these 4 rows, go up to table design, go to borders, click on the drop down, and I'm going to select all borders. And as you can see, it's put all the border lines around just that section there. So although there's this dotted line around this one, there won't actually be a line around that at all. So if I go up to borders and just switch off the grid lines, you can see what that will look like. Then just switch them back on. Next, we're actually going to miss out a line to leave a space. So again, we can go to layout, merge cells. But if we don't want this space here, we want a little bit of a smaller space, what we can do is you can go to table layout and you can reduce the height of this row and make it slightly smaller so the gap isn't huge. And then we'll go down to the next row, merge, and insert some more text. And then here we're going to use a little trick. We actually want a little space here. So then, because I'm forward planning, I'm going to select the next 5 rows so I can move this line here, hover over the line, and when the cursor changes, so I'm just going to move this line over, and I'm going to move this line over. That's just going to leave us a nice space there. So then here I'm going to merge these 3 cells, and I'm going to go to table design, go to borders, and go down to select outside borders. And as you can see, we've just got the border lines around the outside of this one cell that we've selected. Then we're going to select this cell here, go back up to borders. Now, because outside borders is already selected here, just click. You don't have to go into the drop down. And then here, I'm just going to put a title above that. And then we're going to miss out another row here, so I can select it and merge it. Table layout, merge. And once again, we can just reduce the size of that row height. Then here we can put in some more text. And as we go through, when we come back to this, I'm going to show you how to make this form digital. So for this one, I'm going to insert a box. So again, outside borders is selected. For this one, outside borders is selected. So this is in reference to the email, this is in reference to the phone number. And then down here, I'm actually going to merge these two cells, layout, merge, and I'm going to do the same with these two cells, merge. And then in here, we're going to start part of our digital form. So we want to insert a checkbox. So go up to the developer tab. If you don't have the developer tab, go up to Word and go to Preferences. Then go to Ribbon and Toolbar, go down to this menu here, scroll down to the bottom and make sure that Developer is ticked, then click Save. And then at the top of your tabs, you'll see the Developer tab, and this is where we can convert your form into a digital form. Really easy. So in here, I want a checkbox, so I've put my cursor there, go to checkbox and click. Then I'm just going to press my spacebar key 4 times and then put in some text. I'm going to do the same here, checkbox, and type in some text. Now I'll come back at the end and show you exactly how these work and how to protect the form so that your user can only place some text in the areas you have selected. So this is going to be a spacer again. Go to table layout, merge cells, and again reduce the height. Then in here I'm going to put a title, merge cells again, put in your text. And then in these boxes, once again, go to the developer tab, place a checkbox in. What you can do to make things slightly quicker, you can click and drag over it. You'll see it goes a slight blue color. You can copy it by going to the Home tab and selecting copy, or you can use Command or Control C. Then Command or Control V will paste it, which just makes life a little bit quicker. Then you can go along and place your text. And then under these cells here, I just want to put one long line. So I'm going to go to Table Design, go to Borders, and then I'm going to click Bottom Border and deselect, and you can see we've got a nice line underneath there to just separate that top section. Then this one here, I'm just going to put another title in, Table Layout, Merge. And because I don't want a huge gap between this section here and this one, but I do want a bit more of a gap than that, what I can do is select this text and actually go up to the alignment and put that text at the bottom of the cell, just adding to a little bit more of a space there. Then again, I'm going to ask a question. Then I'm going to just merge these 3 cells, click merge. I'm going to put a border line around them. So again, go down to outside borders because I'm going to put a combo box in here. So just at the bottom here, I'm going to merge these cells, table layout, merge, and back to table design to go to borders and select bottom border to put in that final line. Now sometimes something happens like this, where there is a bottom border and it's put in a borderline here. So we can just select these 2 cells, go to borders and uncheck bottom border, and it will take out those lines. So now we can take out the grid lines and we can have a look at our form as it stands at the moment and check we are happy with the way that it looks. We can go to the top here and place our cursor, press the return key a few times if we want to move it down, and we've just missed out on that line at the bottom there. So again, table design, bottom border, click again. You can see it's taken out this border as well, so we'll just put in bottom border and that line has reappeared there. We can make this gap a little bit bigger to separate it a little more. Go to layout and just increase the height of that cell, and as you can see that line moves down. We've got a little bit more of a gap there. Anything you see that doesn't quite fit the eye, then again you can make adjustments. I want a bit more of a gap between these 2 cells. So what I'm actually going to do is just put insert below. That will actually insert a cell. So there's a bit more of a gap. What it has done, it's put this line here in. So we can just select this cell, go back up to table design and then uncheck bottom border. If that doesn't work, go to the cell below, go to borders and uncheck top border, and you'll see that line disappears. Sometimes it takes a little bit of ingenuity to decide if it's the top or the bottom border. So I'm just going to quickly put in some items at the bottom. Go to Insert, Text Box, Draw Text Box, click and draw out a text box. Then I'm just going to insert some text. I'm just going to paste it in because you don't want to see me typing. Again, this has got a border line which I want to take out. So select it, shape format, outline, no outline, and deselect. I'm just going to make sure I've lined it up with the edge of this line here. And then I can use my arrow key just to move it down. Then you can insert your icons for different social media sites. All you have to do is go to Insert, Pictures, Picture from File. Now you can download these online, you can pay for them, you can make them yourself, whatever you choose. So I've got several in here. I'm going to click on this one. And then if I want to insert multiples, I hold down my Command or Control key, click on the other two icons and click Insert. The first thing I need to do is make sure I can move them. So select them, go to Wrap Text, in front of text. Unfortunately, you have to do this individually. You can't do it as a group. In front of text. Now I can select all three. Then I can reduce the size of them together. Then I can move them. And then if you deselect them, move this one here by the arrow key, because obviously they're all lined up at the moment. Move it so that it lines up with the edge of this line here. Then select them all again, holding down the Command or Control key. Go to Align and then select Distribute Horizontally, and that will put them at equal distance apart. And then if they've moved out of alignment, you can select Align to Middle and then all line up again. Check how it looks. I'm just going to move this one in a bit and repeat the process. Select them all. Picture format, align, distribute horizontally and deselect. Fine, that looks much better. So let's make this digital. Oh, I've just seen we've got another rogue borderline here. So let's fix that. So select this cell here, go to Table Design, Borders, and you can see here that it's this bottom line that we want to take out. But if I do so, it doesn't do anything. If I deselect it, it doesn't do anything either. So I can't select between the two here either. So what I'm going to have to do is select this cell here. You can see my cursors at the end here. Go to Split Cells, Number of Columns, I'm going to go to 3. Click OK. Now because you can't see anything, we're going to have to go to Table Design and put in the grid lines again. And you can see we've got 2 extra lines here. So if I select these 2, then I can just move this line over here. And then if I select these 2 cells, I can move this line over here. And then I can select these 2 cells here and hopefully go to Borders and then deselect this inside border line here. And you can see it's now taken out that line there. So sometimes you have to resplit cells in order to take out the various lines. Then just go up, deselect View Grid Lines. So let's turn this digital. So in full name, put your cursor in there, go to Developer, and then here you'll want a text box. Now when you put in your text box, it will allow the user to use as many characters as possible. So if you right click and go down to Properties, you can actually limit the amount of characters that somebody can type in here. So I can put mine to 20, then press OK. And so after 20 characters, when somebody's typing, it will actually disallow them to type any more, so it won't disrupt your form. In here we can do the same. This will be another text box. Again, right click, Properties, and in this one we can simply put this to 10 characters and click OK. and the same here. So with this one, we can actually copy this one and paste it down here. And then email, we can then do 20 characters, so we can copy this one and then paste it across. And then the tickets, we're actually going to do a drop down. So select the box here, go to combo box, and then you're going to need to right click and go to properties. Now for a combination box, this is basically a drop down menu. So put in exactly what you want for your combo box. So I can, for a number of tickets, I can simply say 1, press enter, 2, etc, etc. But then you're going to want a title for your combo box. And I always use click here, press enter. But in order for this one to be the title, it needs to be at the top. So select it and with the arrow key, move it to the top. And then down here, we need to change the bookmark. I can change this to tickets and press OK. Now you can see click here, and what you need to do before you finish your form is you need to protect it. So first of all, you can take off the shading. As you can see, it will take off all of those grey marks, or you can have them on so your user knows where to type. And then you need to protect your form, and you can see click here is there. And if I click on this, here is your drop down menu. You can click on it, and as you can see, those words will appear. For the tick boxes, your user just simply has to click and then click again to take off the cross, and you can see how that works as well. Perfect. So don't forget, before you send it, make sure you protect it. But if you want to go back to editing this form, you have to unprotect it, because you can see here everything is greyed out and you won't be able to change anything. If you can't be bothered to do this form but you'd like a copy of it, I will leave a link in the description below where you can download it, as well as lots of my other forms, posters, cards, invoices, etc. So I hope this has helped you today. If it has, please like and subscribe, and have a great day.